Zafer Mese, he is the coordinator at the Turkish think tank SETA Foundation in Berlin. Good to have you on the program with us. It was only a couple years ago that Germany's intelligence chief said he was not convinced of Feto involvement in the coup attempt. What is Germany's relations or contact with Feto like now? Has anything changed?
Well, I would say that there was a major change after the failed coup attempt. As Yunus Paksoy just mentioned, there was a statement by the chief intelligence of Germany, and it was the first time in history of the German intelligence since the Second World War that chief intelligence chief representative is advocating an NGO in Germany. It was really strange, but we realized that there is something going on with discussions with the, let's say, with the persons who fled after the failed coup attempt, especially with the high-ranking military representatives who obviously are Feto members, who fled from NATO institutions, and even among the asylum seekers were the group of soldiers who tried to assassinate the president. They flew via Greece, some of them to Germany, and even their application were processed, and most probably they have the asylum status. The very tricky point is that even though months after, it was really, even for political decision makers in Germany, obviously clear, and even there was one voice in Turkey apart all discussions, political frictions, that the Feto is the only driver of the plotter of the failed coup attempt. So it was not realized here, and for the time being, my understanding is the following, because I'm also coming in contact with the
Zafer, if I could just interrupt, yeah. Does Feto in any concrete form hinder relations between Germany and Turkey, and if so, in what areas, and how can it be solved?
Well, what we know from Feto in general, in all countries where they are doing anti-Turkey propaganda. Why they are so successful? Because it's about their nature. What they did in Turkey with infiltration of the institutions, they do the same in abroad, in the countries where they are active. As you know, they have Germany is a safe haven. And we have here, as you mentioned, 70,000 members. But in the meantime, they are now lesser because of the exerting of influence of Turkey pressure. There was a major blow on their figures, not in Germany, but in general abroad, and especially in Europe. But what we have is that there is still an active community with NGOs, with economic-related initiatives, who are still strong in their contacts network with decision makers in Germany. On the local, you have to realize that we have a federal system where state governments also have a big stake in the political process. So they have these contacts, and they exert influence through their networks, and doing, of course, anti-propaganda. And after the failed coup, as you know, there was a deep tension in the bilateral relations. One major reason was, of course, the activities, the anti-Turkey public diplomacy lobbying activities of the Feto in Germany.
All right, and we're going to leave it there. Zafer Mese, thank you.
You're welcome.